for this. It is a mini Highbanker that just goes by little portable batteries, the same kind of the tools. I think the whole thing weighs like 15 pounds. If you know anything about Highbankers, you know that that's pretty small. And I've been dying to use this thing, so let's take a look at it. See what we get. And we have a 1100 GPH build pump. And this is the box that we'll use to carry around the battery. And we have our tubing. A box of, looks like the battery charging station. Tools, same kind. See, we're getting there. And this thing's gonna run a little Highbanker. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's look at the Highbanker itself. Check that out. That is so cool. It's so small. Let's get this out of the way here. Woo! Pretty cool. I think I might have to read the instructions. All right, guys, we're gonna head out and we're trying out the new Gold Fox Mini Monster, which is really a slick little tool. I've been waiting for it. It's a mini Highbanker. The thing weighs like 15 pounds total. So let's go out and try it out and see how it works. Okay, we're here on the creek and we're getting ready to try out the new Gold Fox Mini Monster. We picked a pretty cool place on the creek that I think there's gonna be a gold, and I'll show you why. So the water comes straight down the creek, and there is an inside bend right around the corner here. And I'm gonna try right in this area, because it sort of goes around. And that seems to be the first area where gold might drop off. And since we're looking for placer gold, I think that's where it might be. We have the Gold Fox Mini Monster set up. You can see where the pump's at, out in the water. And the water's gonna shoot out here, come down here, and there's our battery. Pounds in there. Scoops them up. We ran one bucket through the Mini Monster, and look at that. There's some nice specs. I mean, I count one good one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little ones. And probably some more down there in that black sand. So yeah, we're gonna stick with this area. 6 5-gallon pails of dirt and rocks, and ran it through the Gold Fox. We ended up with this much concentrates. I'll show you. And there's our concentrates. Lots of black sand, and hopefully a lot of gold. What we'll do is we'll go home and we will further refine it. But I think this was a good test of the Gold Fox Mini Monster. I'll tell you something, I like it. And the reason is, you can go through so much more material than before. This is where we classify the dirt. We classify it into various sizes to make it easier to get the gold out. Our next step in the process is running the micro sluice. It gets the gold out of the fine black sand. You see where the pump's at, and it pumps into the top. The water comes down into a bucket. The reason I do it this way is so that the dirt coming out does not get into the pump. It's pretty cool, it works. Our next step is to remove the bubbles out of the micro sluice. Gold just travels right over bubbles. So we just run it back and forth a few times with a paintbrush, and that will do the job. I'm starting with the finest materials. One of the reasons we break it up and classify it is I adjust the water flow of the sluice based on the, how fine the materials are. Because if it's really fine, then the water flow is low. But if it's not so fine, we speed the water flow up. After 1 teaspoon of the fine material, you can start to see the gold specks showing through the water. That's a good sign. You can see it. There's quite a bit of the really fine flour gold in it. Lovely looking gold. It looks much bigger with water, but this stuff is so small. As our material sizes increase, we also increase the water speed or the flow on the micro sluice. Let's put some in here. We'll start passing that through. All right, that's the 3 smallest sizes. Probably going to clear this out, and then we'll go on to the next one. So we cleared out the littles, and this is the next largest size. These are some nice specks. This is bigger than flour gold. After running all the materials through, we end up with super concentrates. And you're wondering, well, how do we get the gold out? Pan it. It always goes back to panning. We use a smaller pan. This is a real tiny one. And we will pan out 1 teaspoon at a time. You can see the gold just starting to peek through the black sand right there. I thought it would come across the top, but it's coming on the side. You have to be very aware of it. Okay, that's first pass of the first teaspoon. We'll go back and do a second pass of the first teaspoon. It's all gold right there. See if we missed any. Here's first pass of spoon number 2. It's pretty good. Lots of flour. Second pass through, there's a nice little speck right there that we missed. And some real tiny flour there. Now we're going to run all the material through another sluice just to make sure we didn't miss anything. And this particular sluice has 2 mats on it. The first run through is going to be with a more aggressive mat. Now we're going to run all the material through another sluice just to make sure we didn't miss anything. And this particular sluice has 2 mats on it. The first run through is going to be with a more aggressive mat. Right here's where we're going to run through. Shouldn't take too long. He said to do it 1 teaspoon at a time. So there's less concentrates there now, which you cannot see because of the glare. So you can see there's far fewer concentrates now. It's a much more manageable amount now. We can pan that pretty fast in the small pan and see if we got any gold. All right, let's pull it back. What do you guys think? Is there any gold left in there? Let's get it. Sniffer that up. First pass through the materials. See those silver ones off to the right, lower right? That's actually mercury covered gold. I would call today a success.